Hello and welcome to Learn with Hema's class. My dear students, today I am going to teach a lesson of mathematics, class 8, lesson number 2, parallel lines and transversals. One of my all-time favorite lessons, very easy to understand and scoring also. If you like my videos and find them useful, please do like them, subscribe them and share them with your friends and all those students who need the help in this lockdown period. So let's start with the today's lessons. The lesson is parallel lines and transversal. So let's recall, that is this thing we have already done in our previous class. What are parallel lines? So let's learn about parallel lines. The lines which lie in the same plane and do not intersect each other are called parallel lines. This is the definition, and you can see over here line M is parallel to line N. Then next, transversal. What do you mean by a transversal? So if a line intersects two or more distinct points, then the line is called a transversal of those two or more lines. So this line, we can see line R intersects line P and line Q in point X and point Y. Therefore, line R is said to be a transversal of line P and line Q. Next, angles made by a transversal. If we talk about angles made by a transversal, this part of the chapter is very important because based on this part of the chapter, you will be able to answer your exercises very nicely and without any mistakes. So it is very much necessary that you understand what are the different types of angles made by a transversal. As you can see over here in this diagram, line M is parallel to line N and line R is the transversal, and line R cuts the transversal, line R cuts the parallel lines M and N in the distinct points D and E respectively. The corresponding angles which form are angle CDA and angle DEF. You can see angle C, angle D, angle angle CDA, that is this angle, and angle DEF. That means these two are corresponding angles, and always remember this is a property of parallel lines and their transversals that corresponding angles are congruent. Now in a pair, if we talk about, if this figure is given to you where two parallel lines and one transversal is there, we make a total of 4 pairs of corresponding angles. That is, on one side of the transversal we make 2 pairs and on the other side of the transversal we make 2 pairs. So this is just one pair which I have shown. The other pair is angle CDB, that is angle CDB, this pair, and angle DEG, this pair. That is both the upper side on both the sides of the transversal, they are pairs of corresponding angles. Now next we take angle HEF, this is one pair, and angle EDA, this is one pair of corresponding angle, and on the other side HEG and EDB, this is another pair of corresponding angle. So corresponding angles are congruent. Next we have interior angles. We have the same diagram over here. I have drawn the same diagram. What are interior angles? You see again line M and line N are parallel given to you, and line R is the transversal, and the transversal cuts the line M and N in the 2 points D and E. Now this D and E, the part which lies between the two parallel lines, this part is called as the intercept. DE is the intercept of two parallel lines. Now this DE, on one side of DE we can form two angles, that is BD, BDE, and then is DEG. These are the two, that is the two angles which are on the inside of the two parallel lines on one side of a transversal, then they are said to be interior angles. You can see one side ADE, this is ADE, and DEF, this is another side, you can see this. Then BDE, this I have already drawn, and DEG, and next BDE and DEG, ADE and DEF, ADE and DEF, this is one pair, BDE and DEG, this is another pair of interior angles. Always remember that interior angles are supplementary. Interior angles are supplementary. That is, when interior angles are taken together, they make 180 degree. Now next is alternate angles. Alternate angles, it is very easy to find out alternate angles as you draw a Z shape. For example, I have drawn a Z shape over here. So this angle inside and this angle inside over here on both the sides. Alternate angle. So you can see over here ADE and measure angle DEG. This is one pair of alternate angle, and next is BDE and DEF. This is another pair of alternate angle. Now if we want to talk about exterior alternate angles, then you can see the upper part of the parallel lines and the lower part of the parallel lines. This is one part and this is the another one. You can see in the diagonally you can take the outside part in the Z shape, and this is one part of exterior alternate angle. So exterior alternate angles you can make CDB, angle CDB and angle FEH, and the other one is angle GEH and angle ADC. These are the exterior angles, exterior alternate angles. Now these properties are very important for you all to learn, because on the basis of these properties only you will be able to solve your questions. Properties of angles formed by two parallel lines on a transversal. If two parallel lines are there and a transversal is drawn, we can form some pairs of angles such as corresponding angles, interior angles and alternate angles. In alternate angles we have interior alternate angles and exterior alternate angles. Pairs of corresponding angles are congruent and pairs of alternate angles are congruent, whereas pairs of interior angles are supplementary. You can see over here, pairs of interior angles are supplementary. So this is about the intro of the chapter. Now let's start with the exercise. We can see over here corresponding angle. We have to, in the adjoining figure, each angle is shown by a letter. We can see over here P, Q, R, S, W, X, Y, Z. So we can see these letters in the figure. Now fill in the blanks, fill in the boxes with the help of the figure. Now we have to first fill the corresponding angle. If we see angle P is corresponding to angle W. In the figure, angle Q is corresponding to angle X. Angle R is corresponding to angle Y, and angle S is corresponding to angle Z. These are the answers. Now if we talk about interior angles, interior alternate angles. So angle S is congruent to angle X and angle W is congruent to angle R. You can see this way we can take the interior angles. A line is drawn and we have some 8 angles formed: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. These are the 8 angles formed, and here we have to find out the pairs of interior alternate angles, corresponding angles and interior angles, right? So in this diagram, first we will find out interior alternate angles. So we take a Z shape, right? Z shape. So in this Z shape, angle B and angle H. This is interior, one pair of interior alternate angle, and the other pair we take the other Z, उल्टा Z अगर हम लेते हैं तो we have angle C and angle E, right? So these are our pairs. So we can see angle B and angle H, angle E and angle C. These are our pair of interior alternate angles. Next is corresponding angle. So corresponding angle, it is very easy. First we will write angle D and angle E. Then next is angle B and angle F. then angle D and angle H are on the same side of the intercept of the transversal, that is angle B and angle E, that is on the same side in the inside, and then angle C and angle H. These are the pairs of interior angles. Now this is practice set 2.2. It's very simple, very easy to learn. Let's learn this. In the given figure, if line M is parallel to line N and line P is a transversal, you can see line M, you can see this line M and line N, these two lines are there, and line P is a transversal. Inside you can see 3x is there and x is there. These are the two angles, 3x and x. These are the two angles, right? Now we have to find out x. What is x? Now these two angles are interior angles. What we can see is, and interior angles are 180 degree. So 3x plus x is equal to 180 degree. That is 4x is equal to 180 degree. That is x is equal to 180 degree upon 4, which is equal to 45 degree. So our answer is 45 degree. Right? 4 ones are 4, 4 fours are 16, 2 remains, 2 0 20, 4 5s are 20. So 45 degree we get the answer. This is the answer for the first question. These are multiple choice questions, and these type of questions are going to come in the exam, especially in the objective type fill in the blanks 1 mark questions. Next sum, it is again same type of sum is there. In the given figure, if a line A is parallel to line B and the line L is a transversal, we can see line A, line B and line L. L is a transversal, then find x. Now we can see over here 4x is given and 2x is given. Now if we take 2x as vertically opposite here, we get the 2x itself vertically opposite. So 2x and 4x now become interior angles. So 4x plus 2x is equal to 180 degree. So we have 6x is equal to 180 degree. So we have x is equal to 180 degree upon 6, that is 30 degree. So D is the option. Now let's see the next question. In the given figure, line P is parallel to line Q. You can see line P and line Q, and line T and line S. Line T and line S are transversals, and find measures of angle X and angle Y. You have to find the measures of angle X and angle Y. This is angle X and this is angle Y. You have to find out the measures of these angles and given in the figure. Now we can see over here, you can see over here, I have taken A and B, right? We have to consider. So let's start with, now consider angle A and angle B as shown in the figure. Now we know that line P is parallel to line Q, right? So we write here first, line P is parallel to line Q. So line P is parallel to line Q and T is the transversal, and T is the transversal. You can see over here. Therefore, measure angle A is equal to 40 degree. So, if line P and line Q are parallel and line T is the transversal, this T is the transversal, then measure angle A is equal to 40, because it is a corresponding angle, right? This is a corresponding angle. Now we know that measure angle A plus measure angle X will be 180 degree. Why? Because angles in a linear pair. These are angles in a linear pair. Fine. Then that is A plus measure angle A plus measure angle X is 180 degree, angles in a linear pair. So we know that A is 40 degree. So 40 degree plus X is equal to 180 degree. So we have X is equal to 180 degree minus 40 degree. which is equal to 40 degree. So we get the answer of x as 40 degree. Sorry, 140 degree. 180 degree minus 40 degree is equal to 140 degree. So we get the answer of x as 140 degree. So we have received the answer of x. Next, let us find out the answer to y. Now we know that measure angle B which we have taken. Now measure angle B is equal to 70 degree. Why 70 degree? Because this is 70 degree and B will also be 70 degree because they are vertically opposite angle. Right, vertically opposite angles. Now here also we know that line P is parallel to line Q. So we write line P parallel line Q, and here we take S as the transversal, and S is the transversal. So we see that measure angle Y plus measure angle B is equal to 180 degree because they are interior angles, right? So measure angle Y is, we have to find out the measure angle Y plus B, we know it is 70 degree, is equal to 180 degree. So measure angle Y is equal to 180 minus 70 degree, which is equal to 110 degree. So we get measure angle X is equal to 140 degree and measure angle Y is equal to 110 degree. Coming to next question. In the given figure, line P is parallel to line Q. We can see over here line P and line Q, and line L is parallel to line M. We can see the horizontal line L and M in this figure. Find measures of A, B and C. Now we have to find out the measures of A, B and C. D we don't have to find out. It's only A, B and C that we have to find out. So it's very easy. Again we can start. Now consider that angle A is shown over here. Now we know that line P is parallel to line Q and line L is a transversal. Okay. So we take here line P is parallel to line Q, that is line P parallel to line Q, and L is the transversal. You can write the spelling transversal because here I am writing on mobile, so it's not coming clear, but you can write L is the transversal, line L is the transversal. So you can see that measure angle D will be 80 degree. Measure angle D will be 80 degree because it is a corresponding angle, right? Why? Corresponding angle. Therefore, measure angle D plus measure angle A is equal to 180 degree. Linear pair, you can say. They make linear pair. You have to write the reason why. Now, we know that measure angle D is equal to 80 degree plus measure angle A is equal to 180 degree. So measure angle A is equal to 180 minus 80, which is equal to 100 degree. So measure angle A is 100 degree. Next, A we have found out. Now we have to find out B. Okay. Now here also we can see that line L is parallel to line M and line Q is the transversal. That is, we can say line L is parallel to line M and Q is the transversal. Let us take Q as the transversal. Okay, so this and this, we take these things. Now we know that measure angle B is congruent to measure angle D. How? They make exterior in alternate angles. Exterior alternate angle. So measure angle B is equal to measure angle D, which we have found out that measure angle D is equal to, therefore measure angle B is equal to 80 degree. So measure angle B also we have found out now. Now measure angle C. Now here we can see that measure line P and line Q are parallel lines and M is the transversal. Now here we can see line P parallel to line Q and M is the transversal. Okay, M is the transversal, and here you can see that measure angle B is congruent to measure angle C. Why? They both are corresponding angles. So you have to write corresponding angles. Therefore, measure angle C is equal to 80 degree. So we got all the three answers. Measure angle A is 100 degree, measure angle B is 80 degree, and measure angle C also is 80 degree. Now the next question. In the given figure, line A and B are parallel, and you can see that line L is a transversal. Find the measure of X, angle Y and angle Z using the given information. Now angle X, angle Y and angle Z, very easy to find out. Again you can see line L, you have to write that line A is parallel to line B. So you have to write line A parallel line B, and L is the transversal. You will have to write all these things first. Line L is the transversal. Therefore, measure angle X is equal to 100 degree. Why? Reason is corresponding angle. You can see 100, this measure 100 and this X. These are congruent because they make corresponding angle. Okay. Now, we know that X is 100, Y is vertically opposite. Measure angle X is congruent to measure angle Y. Why? Reason is vertically opposite angle. That is, measure angle Y is equal to 100 degree. So measure angle Y is 100 degree. Now, measure angle Z we have to find out. That is, measure angle Z plus 100 is equal to 100 degree is equal to 180 degree. Why? Angles in a linear pair. Angles in a linear pair. They make angles in a linear pair. You can see, right? These two angles. Therefore we have 100 plus Z, measure angle Z is equal to 180 degree. That is, measure angle Z is equal to 80 degree. So here we get all the three angles. X is 100 degree, Y is 100 degree, and Z is 80 degree. If we take this as 100 degree, I think it is 105 degree which is shown, but I have taken as 100 degree. So it is accordingly. Now, but if we take it as 105 degree, the whole thing changes. Now I'll take it as 105 degree. So if this is 105 degree is given, then measure angle X will also be 105 degree. The reason is it is corresponding angle. Then measure angle Y will also be 105 degree. Reason is vertically opposite angle. And then measure angle Z will be here of 75 degree, because 105 degree plus 75 degree will make 180 degrees. So previously I had taken that. Now the last question. In this given figure, line P is parallel to line L. Yes, in this given figure, line P is parallel to line L, and line L is also parallel to line, you can see, line Q. We have to find X with the help of the measures given in the figure. Now, line P, line L and line Q, all these three lines are parallel, which is shown over here. Line P, line L and line Q, all these three lines are parallel, and this X part we have to find out. Now here these three parallel lines are there. What we are going to do is we are going to break this. So this X we are going to break into two parts. Let this upper part be A and let this the lower part be B. That means if line P and line L are parallel, then A will be 40 degree according to alternate angle. So first we write line P parallel line L. Therefore measure angle A is equal to 40 degree. Reason alternate angle. Okay, alternate angle. Then next we have line L parallel to line Q. we have to write line L parallel to line Q. Therefore, here we see we have some 80 degree. It's 30 degree. 30 degree is there in the textbook. It is 30 degree. So 30 degree, then B will be also be 30 degree. Then measure angle B is equal to 30 degree, right? 30 degree. So X is what? A plus B. To measure angle X is equal to angle A plus angle B, which is equal to 40 degree plus 30 degree is equal to 70 degree. So this X, therefore X is equal to, angle X is equal to 70 degree. So here we find out the answer. So with this our chapter ends. I hope you all have enjoyed this session. Soon we'll meet with the next lesson. Till then, stay safe, stay secure. Thank you.